Last time I gave an intro about Cloud Code, very basic. Today I'm going to show you how to set up Paperclip properly. I will also explain what Paperclip is and for what we can use it now and in the future. And if we may have time, I will show you also one or two use cases, how to do it, proper use cases. And today I will show you just small use cases at the end, how you may use it properly. So let's go first of all to the GitHub. We have the GitHub. We want to understand this GitHub repository, Paperclip AI. You have there all your folders. It's I would say completely normal, all the folders with the skills. I don't think that you need to know more about it, but what should you know is that mostly you use GitHub, so you have it also saved your projects on GitHub, not only on your, I would say, local computer. Here you will see a repository. It's about Paperclip, and you see this thing is very strong, very mighty, but still gets updated very often. And here you see a full tour of me. I will show it to you later. But what is Paperclip exactly? What is it? Like, for example, open source orchestration for zero human companies. Here's a quote: if OpenClaw is an employee, then Paperclip is the company itself. Means Paperclip is based on the Node.js server, and with the React UI you can orchestrate teams of AI agents to run a business. So you can also bring your own agents, you can also assign them goals and track your agents' work. And of course you see all the costs. You will also track the costs in all-in-one dashboard. And it looks like a task manager where you can create issues or tasks and give them to the right person, but it's all of that under one hood, under one organization, in the chart, as a company with the budgets, governance, goal alignment, agent coordination. Of course you could have more organizations, but we are talking about your first organization here. So you will manage in that case business goals, or not only like pull requests, how you normally do it with GitHub when you pull all the requests or repos. Here you see what are the 3 steps to make that happen. You go to Paperclip when it's installed, then you define the goal, like build the #1 AI note-taking app to 1 million monthly recurring revenue. Then the next step would be hire the team, like CEO, CTO, engineers, designers, marketers, any bot, any provider. And then you can approve it, like you review the strategy, you set the budgets, hit go, and then you can track everything from the monitor. You can review the strategy, set the budgets, hit go, and then you see like the monitor from the dashboard itself. What will coming soon? Clipmart. It's also for me new. Like, as you saw 7 hours earlier, they made an update for something, but let's see what they have for us. Run entire companies with one click. Like, that's really good. That means Clipmart is something where you don't need to build your own company. You will have templates, like pre-built template, with all the structure, config, skills, system prompts, all of that. You can import it into your Paperclip instance. That means you can also for that, or you can define it for your own. Yes, it is right for you. If you want to build an autonomous air company, you coordinate many different agents, like for example OpenClaw, Codex, Cloud, Cursor. You have, for example, 20 simultaneous Cloud Code terminals like me open. Maybe you lose track someday somewhere about what everyone is doing, and here in that case your agents run autonomously but still want to audit work, for example, when needed. You should monitor all the costs and see the budgets, like how boss is doing, like calculating and monitoring the things with his team. You want a process for managing agents that feels like using a task manager, so you can with managing agents delegate the work properly, and the result very good and with a good notification and saved somewhere where you can see it and read it every day. And of course, if you want also to manage your autonomous businesses from your phone, means you can also connect it properly, so you can also control it from your phone, while your computer is. So here the features is you can bring your own agents, plug and play, goal alignment, heartbeats, like they wake up on a schedule, on a time, how it works, how it acts, how it delegates everything. The cost control, as we said, is very good. You can also have multi-companies, like one deployment for many companies, but also you can complete the data in isolation, like one organization, company by one, step by step, and not all of at once. You can choose. You have a ticket system, governments, organization chart, and the mobile should be also ready for managing and monitoring. Like that, you see also which problems Paperclip solve. Like you see it's ticket based, like Jira or something, Trello, the tasks. Conversations are threaded, like sessions persist across reboots, context flow from the task up through the project itself and the company goals, so that your agent always knows what to do and why. And then we have also Paperclip gives you some charts, ticketing, delegation, governments out of the box, so you will run a company and not only, I would say, some prompts or pile of scripts. You have cost ratings, heartbeats, and you can add anytime tasks to a Paperclip, and your coding agent will work as we have it with Cloud Code, but you have to open the Cloud Code session the whole time the tab. If you add the task in Paperclip, you can open or close it, but in any way it will have access to the Cloud Code, because how it is connectable with Codex, Cloud Code, OpenClaw, and all these things. As you can see, there are more informations. You see just shortly, you can read it more or less on your own, but here what's under the hood. It's also important to know what's actually now under the hood. You see just skills things on the site itself, and it's also important to know that these things are there, and that's why it is everything easily connected. And that's the systems, just more described for your understanding itself about everything we saw, which is in the Paperclip server itself. We will start it, by the way, too. Paperclip is, as we mentioned, not a chatbot. It's not an agent framework, not a workflow builder, not a prompt manager, but also not a single agent tool and not a code review tool. Agents have jobs and not chat windows. We run a company made of them. Like it's no drag and drop pipelines, and Paperclip models companies like with real org charts, goals, budget, and government. Like building companies in a whole another level. We might be too small to understand all the things which are here and why they are here. Agents bring their own prompts, models, runtimes, and Paperclip manage the organization will work in. And this is for teams. If you have, for example, one agent, you probably don't need Paperclip, but if you have, for example, 20 or 50 or 60 agents, then you definitely do. And here you see also Paperclip orchestrates the work and not the pull request. That means you have to bring your own review process. So that's not a problem. So you do your own review process with Cloud Code, but also looking with your eyes onto the code if you know how to code. If not, then with Cloud Code and so on. And here now you see the kickstart, like how we are gonna using it. Let's do that. I already know that we integrated on my end, but we can do that here. Like if you have already Paperclip configured, rerun onboarding, accessing config, use Paperclip config. Means I will do that. Let's open. You see my terminal. By the way, while we are waiting, normally you are putting this into the terminal itself, not while it starts. What do I mean with? You normally open a window, a terminal, and copy paste what I just copy paste here. It's important normally to do that. In my case, I'm lazy, but I also know exactly what my Paperclip is doing, and we can look into one of my projects. So you see, I worked with them last week. I had a good break with my Cloud Code, but I worked with them, and as you see here, now you can see here my dashboard for Paperclip. It's opened. That's how fast it can be installed. It takes 5 minutes, sometimes also 10 minutes. It depends on how many agents you have to integrate, how many changes, and how many agents you have to create. Here in that case, he just did an update so far. Of course, I can ask him, we using Paperclip properly? He should say not properly for the main tool organization. We come back to this part. Let's go first of all back to here. I just made a work of it. So here you can see you have the settings. Of course, it's nothing wow, but what you can see, you can add here, or you can go to the CEO and ask him to add some agents. Like we have a new issue area where we can write an issue like challenge on task, for example, build me a landing page proof with a here. So it's to do. I would say it's now high. We give that to the CEO. We do now onboarding. We do now onboarding. What I want to put in is now we created the issue. Now we are running. You see now the CEO is working. We don't need a CTO now because I have some settings for the CTO which are now important. He's currently working on a project which is very nice, very beautiful, this project. So let's resume. I did that because I stopped everything. I programmed on something very big, very huge, and that is why you need more computation power, but what is more important is to have very specific tasks. So here you see they are working now currently on my other tasks, but what will be done is also the CEO will now orchestrate. It will work like I use normally. How do I say? It's normal when I use my Cloud Code. It will do the same thing. Here you have specific agent for every task, so you have to be very focused to make this happen. Like my mistake, I can talk about my mistake while I'm showing you this result, is that I overworked with so many tasks. I mean, you see every agent has a task doing, and and some of the old tasks are back, I think. That's why this computer is calculating huge amount. It looks very funny and it's very structured. So let me see what he's doing. Normally you don't need to write. I'm very curious what that could be in that part. But all in all, it's no magic. It's like you can put here your routines, which routines I want to create. Create a routine. You write a routine title, add some instructions. Say who's the assignee, project. Mostly you assign the CEO because he will and then you have directly routines which are doing your job. So then, as we spoke about the issue part, you will see them also in the inbox, because sometimes you need something like, hey, can we proceed, or hey, can we deploy? Alright, then let's do that. And all these things. Also on the dashboard, as we mentioned earlier, you see all the agents who are currently running, who are enabled, who are in progress, which is monthly spent. We cannot calculate it so far very well. Of course, we can see which token consumption we have. We can calculate backwards, but all in all, we have not the API keys. We are using Cloud Code just very normal with a subscription. And that's why we did not set it up properly. But when you're working on a big scale, you should set it up properly so that you don't wake up someday like me and you have 20% gone of your weekly limit. And I was not using the $20 subscription, I was using the $200 one. And that is why be careful, but also setting just for safety the budget. So all in all, you will also have some goals. For example, these are some goals with one project already, unfortunately, but you can add sub goals to the goals, which is in one project. So yeah, set your goals, that normal, for example. So, and again, you choose what is it as a goal. Is it a company goal, team goal, agent goal, task goal? Yeah, and then you can set it properly. Here you have to test yourself if it should be a company, team, agent, or task goal, because when I did that with 3 million monthly revenue, yeah, I was not the one who knows exactly what to do. Is it company, or is it team, or is it agent? I believe it's more team or company, but still, I think you get my point. So now we see, I can check it. Because our goal was not to create a landing page. Our goal was to hire a team who's doing that. I already hired. You see they work still in the background. Like, know how it looks. This is how your landing page or website could look like. Very smart. Yeah, easy. That's how things can be built very quickly. Beautiful also. But now let's see what we have to do. Yeah, he's continuing his work because I set some goals and some tasks earlier, but you see I have just to answer. Next steps for me. Yeah, I checked all. I did that too. The link was not working, of course, because I never created an account. Yes, now he's asking me properly, like, do that, but I won't do the final website with you guys. It's just the use case to see how easy it is. You normally can give a task to a CEO, and if he thinks he's not able to do it, he will tell you, will ask you to hire with him the right agents. What's the prime focus of improving? Yeah, versions. Yeah, because we want with a different section, different structure, because it looks very ugly. What language should be the page in? Both English and German. Like, let's see. It looks very delicious. In the meantime, as we explained, issues, routines, and goals, very important. You should also split per project to know which is under which umbrella and where the informations will go. I needed not more. I just used the onboarding, but I have organizations here in that case, so I split it properly with that. But if you want to split it properly, like each project has a different goal, then you can add some tasks to it. Of course, you won't start with all of that. Of course, you can later have 60 or some hundreds of these agents in a team working together. You have, as I said to you, the org chart where you see how it's organized. Of course, you don't need to look on it, but if you want, you know which connections, like who is the boss of who. See the connections like growth marketer and performance marketer are employee of the CMO, for example. Yes. That is just very important to know. Now you can import and export companies. That's also funny to know. So this is an update which came maybe 6-7 hours earlier. So this part I will also explain for you in the next video if you wish. But I believe it's what we already saw in the GitHub repository, that you can import or export the structure. Then you see you have also skills, a bunch of skills you can add. Here we didn't any skills. The skills pre-installed so far. They are not connected with what I have locally. So here I have to put everything locally to that part, like paste, but also I could add some GitHub URLs. But what I would do in your position, if you have already some skills, then you have to know where it's saved, and then you say to one of the agents, or you, if you know the exact path, and add it to this. So we will have a library of some 50 or hundreds of agents you may know. Then, as we mentioned, the costs are here. You can see, like, it's funny what they used. See every agent what he's actually using, and the 4.6 is enough for most of the things. Let me see one thing. The tokens are very low. It's not high, the token usage. And of course you can see here the activity I released, so we can work together again. Yeah, and if we want exactly to know what they do, we have to click on them. We see from the dashboard but yeah, all in all, I will upload the landing page for you guys. If you want, you can click on it. Will be mostly, when it's done, connected through our main domain. So if you want to know more or to see about, let me know. This was Paperclip. If you know more about Paperclip, let me know. If you want to see the results, what happened, because I will fine-tune it for sure. Need more time because the CEO is working. I give him feedback and it's working again. So I hope you enjoyed this. You know how to use very basically Claude Code, but also how to install Paperclip, how to register, but how to use it. If you want to dive deeper into this topic, Paperclip or using Claude Code in a terminal or something else, please comment below. I will show you exactly what you want. Since I'm using Claude and Claude Code very long, I also use some skills very often, and for every day. So if you have anything, please let me know. If you have any hints or tips for me, also know that. But I'm very grateful to speak to you, to stick on this until the end. You can book also a link if you want to speak with me or my team for example, for consulting, but you can, if we should do the service for you, because we offer voice agents, but also agent systems especially for Mediterranean real estate companies and financial companies. We can offer the languages and English, and yes, that is what we are offering. If you want to listen more about it, just let me know.